Hi guys, Pat with Blueprint Cabinets here. Today we're going to show you how to assemble one of our base 12-inch cabinets, and you'll be doing it yourself in no time and saving tens of thousands of dollars on your kitchen at home. So to assemble the cabinets, we're going to need some basic hand tools. We've got our drill with a Phillips bit. We've got, of course, a knife. We've got some wood glue. We've got a rubber mallet. And then we've also got a pin nailer. So this may be the only thing you don't have at home. These are readily available at box stores. I think this guy was around $150. You can use an air-powered one or electronic. Both is fine. We're just looking for something that fires 18-gauge brad nails, and that's going to help to assemble our cabinets. So our brad nails we're using are 18-gauge, 1.25 inches in length. You're going to find all kinds of various lengths to these guys. 1.25 inches is what we're looking for. And then our wood glue is just regular Gorilla wood glue here. Doesn't really make a difference. Just get one you're comfortable with, as long as it's a good quality glue. We've got a brush here we're going to use to apply the glue. This is kind of an optional step, but we're going to show you the proper ways to do it today. As we get into this, you're going to find you've got your A box and your B box. Now the codes are pretty straightforward on these boxes. We've got a B12 and a B12 here. So NS, that's our natural shaker. Our uni box is our universal parts. So if you've got different color cabinets in your design, you're gonna have a whole bunch of different uni boxes, and then we're just gonna look for the finished panels. That's the face frame, the doors, the drawer fronts. All the bits and pieces you're actually gonna see are gonna be in this finished box panel, and then it's just a matter of combining the two things to assemble your one cabinet. What we're gonna do, once we have these sorted, is we're gonna go through, open up, and we'll show you how quick and easy it is to put them together. The actual opening and sorting of the pieces, I find, almost takes as long as actually putting the boxes together. So if you have someone that can help you, even if they're not a handy person, even if they can help you just to sort some parts, it does go a long way to cutting down the total assembly time. So our universal box, you don't have to be very particular as you're opening these up. These are all our AA grade plywood, ends, backs, and sides. Even if you were to hit these with your knife, you're not really gonna see a scratch. You wanna be more careful, of course, on your finished parts. These are the pieces you're gonna see and touch and feel, and are gonna be exposed. So we wanna be a little more cautious when we're unboxing these. I like to make sure you've got lots of room between the faces before you just poke them with your knife. Nice and gentle, keeping your distance away from the finished panels. We've got our boxes opened up. We've got our universal box here, our B12 uni box, and then we've got our finished parts over here on the table beside me. We'll go through, we'll give you a quick rundown on what's inside. We've got our drawer slides in this long box. This is our hardware kit. It's gonna say KL01 on it. This includes our hinges, our various L brackets, our screws and bits and pieces we're gonna need to assemble the cabinet. We do have an instruction manual. We've got our drawer box. This is a shelf. We've got our drawer, or our cabinet bottom, our toe kick, our cabinet back, and then our sides. One important thing to note on this cabinet, we're finishing one side of the cabinet, so we're gonna actually replace one of the universal end panels with our finished end panel over here on the table beside me. So we just wanna make sure, of course, we're swapping out the proper panels, and yeah. So our B12A box is gonna contain just our cabinet face frame, our door, as well as our drawer front, and the drawer front's already gonna have our dovetailing on the back of it, and then this is our separate loose finished end panel that we're gonna use to assemble the cabinet. So I find one of the most time-consuming parts of these cabinet builds is actually just separating your hardware pieces. This is where it's really helpful if you have an extra set of hands. So inside our box, these are all the bits and pieces you're gonna find. We've got our shelf brackets. These are various screws we're gonna go through and use. We've got some L brackets for the base of our cabinet, some rubber bumpers for the doors. These are some of the L brackets to secure the side panels. We've got a screw for our back panel. These are for our hinges and then our door screws. And this is relatively universal. In pretty much every one of these cabinets, you're gonna find something very similar to this. You may find, you know, if you've got a cabinet with extra doors in it, you're gonna have an extra set of hinges or two, of course, but everything basically you're gonna find on the inside will be pretty much the same cabinet to cabinet. These boxes are mostly universal. So you may find on some of your builds, you may be left with a couple screws here and there. That's perfectly fine and normal and to be expected. All right, so step one is to find our finished face frame. I always recommend laying down a piece of packing from your boxes. They give you all kinds to spare. These are really well packed. So we're just gonna take our face frame and lay it down, finish side down. So once we've got our face frame down on the table, we're just gonna grab our glue and we're gonna lay down a bead of wood glue all the way down this channel. Then we're gonna take our finished side panels and we're gonna slide them in place. So we're just gonna line up, carefully slide them in. Our grooves here. Slowly and carefully slide them in. So one other thing I didn't mention at the start of the video that's helpful to have is just a wet rag, damp rag, just to wipe up some of our excess glue that's gonna spill out the bottom as we assemble these. So now that we've got our side panels in, what we're looking for is we want to align this groove on the inside of our panel with the groove on the inside of the face frame of our cabinet. So next we're gonna drop our cabinet bottom into the frame. We're just gonna take a little bit of wood glue, put it on the frame, face of our cabinet. Simply drop him down into place, like so. And as you can see, once we pull our cabinets in, that's the bottom of our cabinet. Do you want to just give me a hand standing this up? Yeah, we'll put it backwards. So next we're gonna find our cabinet back. This has a groove on the bottom, which is gonna match the grooves on our side panels. Again, I like to take a little bit of wood glue, put that down our groove. And then also, I like to run a little bit of glue down the side channels of our back. So then we're just gonna slightly pull apart our side panels to give us enough room to slide in our back panel. I find if we start in a bit of a downward angle and lift up, we can hook our shelf bottom as we lift this upwards. And then we're just gonna take our two cabinet sides and push them in together. So next, we're just gonna take our long black screw out of our hardware pack and we're gonna sink it in to the screw hole in the back of our cabinet. Next is where our brad nailer comes into play. That's gonna help just our side panels. We're gonna pin them on as we go here. Because we've got a finished side panel here, I am gonna put a couple pins into this and we're gonna show you later on how to fill these pinholes. Depending on how you're finishing the side of your cabinets, you may not wanna pin through this finished side panel, but don't worry about it because our L brackets are gonna give us plenty of support on our side panels here to keep this nice and sturdy. So quick pro tip, if you're not familiar with using brad nailers, one thing you just want to be cautious of when we're firing these is we want to put this on the side of our cabinets so that it's in vertical orientation. So usually our pins will come out sideways if they're gonna bend, and they won't go up or down. So the reason why we turn our gun sideways like so is that way if our pin bends, it's still gonna land somewhere within the vicinity of our back panel here. It's not the end of the world if your pin comes out onto the back of our cabinet here because this is gonna be touching the wall anyway. So if we take our air gun and we put it sideways like so, make sure we get just to the edge of the cabinet, push down, fire, and that's what we're looking for, right? I like to fire a pin every 6 or so inches down into the side of our cabinet. This is just a little bit of reassurance, but it's not necessarily the end of the world if you don't have quite as many as I have. So this is our finished inside. I am gonna fire a couple pins into it just for what I need this cabinet for, but you could leave this unpinned if you don't want to have exposed pin nail holes here. But we can also show you after how to finish these pinholes so that they'll virtually disappear on the side of our cabinet. So next we're gonna grab a couple of our flathead screws as well as our L bracket. Go ahead and screw these on the upper corners of our cabinet. So when we're installing our front L brackets, there are a couple of things you want to keep in mind when you're putting these on. If you just take this screw and ram it in here into our face frame, it is possible that you can crack this face frame as you assemble it. The official recommendation from the manufacturer is to pre-drill the holes going into our face frame. However, if we take our drill and we put this on and we spin it backwards, before we place it in the forward direction, that will actually put a little divot in our face frame, and that will prevent that cracking from happening. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. Now the other thing we want to take note of as we're assembling this is we want to pull our face frame in tight to our cabinet sides. You will see sometimes you get a little bit of a give there. We want to make sure this is nice and tight. That way when we assemble our two cabinets together, everything lines up. Once we've got our L brackets on, we're going to go ahead and flip the cabinet upside down. We're going to grab our 2-part white L brackets as well as a handful of our panhead screws. The first step is we're going to assemble the bottom of our face frame, and we're going to pull it in tight to our cabinet box. Now, before we screw in our bottom screws into the bottom of our cabinet, we just want to make sure we pull in our frame nice and tight. So next we're going to go ahead and screw on our cabinet toe kick. So we're just going to place it on to our cabinet, and then we want to make sure we divide this evenly so we've got the same amount of overhang here on both sides. Then we're going to grab our 2-piece L brackets. Now once you get your brackets on, you're going to note that you're left in some occasions with an additional kind of bonus L bracket. I don't like to waste these L brackets, so since we've got this, I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the back corner. Just pick a side of one of these back corners. Just adds a little bit more beef and strength to our cabinet. It's not going to hurt anything. If you don't put these on, it's probably not the end of the world, but I like to use them. So that is our finished cabinet box. Now we're going to move on to assembling our drawers and show you how to install our door hinges onto this cabinet. So next we're going to get started on assembling our drawer boxes. So we're going to grab our face frame and then our drawer sides. Go ahead and turn them around so this lines up. I've got my paintbrush out and I'm going to brush on each one of our dovetails here with glue to make sure I get full coverage. Then we're just going to go ahead and align our dovetails, grab our rubber mallet, gently tap this into place. I like to work my way back and forth, making sure I'm going in nice and even. Don't hammer too hard because you can split and crack these dovetails if you really were to wail on it. And we also want to make sure we want to drive this in so it's nice and flush. It is possible to overdrive our dovetails and sink these in too deep. So once we get it in flush with our drawer front, we're going to want to stop hammering. Go ahead and wipe up any excess glue. Go ahead and repeat on the opposite side. So next we're going to grab our back of our drawer. We're going to pull apart our sides just slightly, and then we're going to line up our dovetails, making sure that they're nice and tight and everything is aligned before we start hammering. Go ahead and wipe off any excess glue. And then it's a good idea after you hammer in your drawer back, because it can shift around the front a little bit, just go ahead and make sure these are nicely aligned at the bottom still and give them an adjustment if necessary. We're gonna open up our drawer slide box. We're gonna find our drawer slides, as well as our drawer adjusters and our screws. So next we're gonna grab our drawer box and our drawer adjusters out of our hardware. These have right and left on them. Of course, the right and left is gonna be the proper orientation with this upside down. Gonna go ahead and drop those onto the bottom of our drawer box and line up these holes. Then we're gonna grab our large silver flathead screws, screw them in place. So now out of our drawer box, we're gonna grab our mounts, place them into our back panel, and we'll go ahead and screw them in place. Next, we're gonna grab our drawer slides, and we're gonna slide them onto our mounts, and we're stopping when our screw hole is lined up at the front of our slide on our face frame of our cabinet. Then we're gonna grab 2 large screws and screw our slides to our face frame. So next we're gonna grab our drawer box again. I like to install our rubber bumpers at this time, one on all 4 corners. Now we can grab our drawer slides, just pull them out, and then we can set our drawer box in place. On the back of our drawer, we want to align this hole with this silver tab coming off our drawer slide. You'll hear them click into place, then we can just go ahead and close our drawer. If we need to remove our drawer from our cabinet, we're just going to pull on these orange tabs, and they will release the locks from our drawer slides, and now we can lift up, pull that back out. Next, we're going to install our cabinet door hinges onto our face frame. Now you'll note that these are already drilled on both sides. So we can install our door so that it opens from the left or the right. So on this one, we're going to mount our hinges to the right side of our cabinet. Go ahead and grab our large pan head screws. I like to leave a little bit of play here just because it will make it easier to install our door onto our hinges. Next, we're gonna grab our door and align it with our hinges. Push in place, and then push on your door as you open your hinges. Grab our large pan head screws and screw your door to your hinges. Once our hinges are screwed to our door, we can go ahead and tighten our last hinge screw. Go ahead and install our rubber bumpers on our door. Lastly, we'll install our shelf clips into the walls of our cabinets. Go ahead and grab our shelf and set it in place. Once our cabinet is assembled and installed, we're gonna grab our toe kick, cut it to length, and then simply pin in place. So with every kitchen, we're going to include a touch-up kit. Could be paint, could be putty, could be some of both. This particular color, I have this nice matching putty that's going to blend right in here. So all we're going to do is we're going to rip off some little pieces of masking tape, and we're going to mask out just around that hole. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see mine's not. That's okay. As long as you're close, this will make a world of difference. So what I like to do is take my knife and just shave off a little piece. So I've got a little piece here in my fingers, and then just rub it around in your fingers a little bit to warm it up, to let it melt and soften it. Now I'll just come over to my hole like so and just rub it in to my hole. Now we've peeled off all our tape, and we're just gonna take a wet rag and just give those a clean wet rag. That's the key here, so you don't smear dirt into them. Give those a quick wipe, and your pinholes virtually disappear. I mean, you know, the putty's, let's call it a 99% color match to the paint, but it is a different material. It will also dry a little lighter as well. I mean, you know, standing back looking at that cabinet now, those pinholes, they've disappeared. Thanks guys, have a great day.